We're going to go over TFAR, starting with the short-range radio. So if you hit Control-P, little radio will come up. This radio in particular is the ANPRC 152. As a NATO soldier, you will always use ANPRC 152 in our ops. It's basically our Blue 4 radio. If you play as the Russians, you'll use a FATAC, and PMC, it depends which one you are. I'm going to go over the controls real quick, starting from the top. At the top of the ANPRC 152, you will see a middle thing. If you hover over it, it says decrease volume, increase volume. If you left-click it, it decreases the volume, and you'll see a little analog box pop down at the bottom right telling you your volume is whatever. If you right-click, it'll increase the volume. Moving on down to the little screen where it says C1 and then a set of numbers. C1 means your current channel, so if it's C1 it means channel 1, C2, channel 2, and so on. Channels they're basically, if I go to channel 1, I can set the frequency of channel 1 to say 60. And then I can go to channel 2, set the frequency of channel 2 to say 70. And then I can switch between channel 1 and channel 2, and they will always stay those frequencies. For practice, obviously the number to the right of C1 is the frequency. For practice, we're going to go ahead and type in the frequency there. You're just going to double click and it should highlight the entire thing. And type in 60 for C1. And once you do that, there's a little button on the right side of the ANPRC 152 on the set of buttons that says ENT. Click that. Once you've done that, press caps lock and say something for me.
This is Raph.
Seymour checking in.
Alright, obviously, you guys know caps lock is how you broadcast over the radio for short range. If I were to say...
someone just joined in, I think his name was Daniel, and he popped off for 40.
One sec. Alright, so if we all pull up our radios again with Control P, you hit number 2 on the numpad, it will go to C2 and then show a number. Using the numpad, just by pressing numbers, you can set frequencies all the way, you can set channels all the way up to channel 8. Everybody set channel 2 as 70. Give me a radio check.
This is Rap's radio check.
Seymour checking in.
You're not on 70, Seymour.
Well, I got a little fancy. Let me try this again. 70. Check it in on 70.
There you go. Alright, so now you guys know how to set frequencies on multiple channels. Another way to switch channels is there's a button that says PRE. If you click on the plus above it, it'll go to the next channel. The minus will go to the previous one. Another button there is the CLR. That is the clear frequency. It'll just clear the frequency from the current channel and it'll allow you to type whatever frequency you want. Moving on. The arrow to the right, where it's if you hover over it, it says speakers. That'll allow you to switch from headphones to speakers. Headphones means the radio will broadcast directly into your headphones on the character you're in, and only play to you. Only you will be able to hear it. If I were to say set those to speakers, it would be in a speaker around me. So, Raps, could you broadcast over 70 for me real quick?
Roger. Yes, Raps on it. Okay.
How it kinda, you could hear it coming from me as well as raps over the radio. That's what speakers does. Usually you want to not have speakers on. There are very few times where you want to have speakers on, and that's when you'll come across those and you'll find out yourself. The next button is the arrow to the left. It's called Set Additional Channel. That does, it allows you to set an additional channel to be monitored. So say if I want to listen to frequency 60 as well as frequency 70, like I have two fire teams, one of them's on 60, one of them's on 70, I'm a squad leader, maybe I want to hear both of them, because, you know, maybe that's a smart thing to do. So I will set additional channel as 70, and that'll allow me to hear 70 at that current moment, and then I will switch the radio over to channel 1. It'll say in the bottom right, channel 1, frequency 60, additional channel 2. This means is I will be listening to 60 and 70 at the same time. If I want to broadcast on 60, I press caps lock,
like I'm doing now,
or if I want to broadcast on 70, I'll press T,
like I'm doing now.
Remember, if you set one channel as an additional channel and you want to monitor, so say you want to monitor channel 3 and 4, I need to set one of those as an additional channel and then set the radio onto the other one. That way it does monitor both. Can't set, say channel 2 as additional channel and then leave the radio on that channel, or else it'll just do nothing. Next button on the radio is the bottom left. It looks like parentheses. That is the stereo settings. This allows you to adjust where the radio volume, like people speaking on the radio, come through which headphone, or which side of speakers on your computer monitor, etc. So say I want channel 2, frequency 70, to come out of my right ear, and channel 1, frequency 60, to come out of my left. We'll go to channel 1, frequency 60. I will click on the stereo settings button once. In the bottom right, it'll go volume 80, left only, additional left and right. I want to do the same thing with channel 2, frequency 70, but I want it coming through my other ear. Coming through my right ear. I will then click on stereo settings twice until it says volume 80, left only, additional, right only. This means that my main channel is coming through on my left headphone, my additional is coming through my right headphone. Has everybody done that?
Hey, firm.
Alright. Raps, have you done it?
Check.
It's on 70, yep. So, Raps, you should have 60 coming through your left headphone and 70 coming through your right headphone, correct? That's how you set it up?
I mean, I haven't played with the additional channel, so.
Go ahead and do that for me real quick.
Oh. It seems channel 1 is 60. That's clear. Then I go to channel 2 and press additional channel.
Yes, and then set it as 70, if you haven't already. And you'll go back to channel 1.
Okay.
Caps to broadcast main channel. And what, T to broadcast on the alternate?
Raps.
Check out all that. Check out 60.
And then did you do the stereo settings as well for both?
The switch between both ears.
It's fine, as long as one's coming through one ear, one's coming through the other one.
So now, you can tell that I'm coming through 60 because it's coming through the ear you settle on, correct?
Copy that. 60 coming out of the left.
Want me to do a radio check for you or something?
Oh yeah, it's fine, I was just messaging.
And then this is me coming through frequency 70, and you can tell because it's coming through the other ear.
That is the basics of the short range. There is the long range, the big ass radio backpack on your back. Access that, it is Alt P. The long range operates just the same as the short range, except with this one you have a few more buttons. They're in different spots for some of them. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, those are for the channels. On this this radio, we have 9 channels. With it, our channel 1, we to set the frequency, we have a little FREQ button at the top right. That's how we set it. Set an additional channel, it is the ERF DFST button below that. Below that is time, that button increases our volume. BAT call button decreases our volume. STO is our stereo settings. Load 0 is our speakers. And menu clear is our clear frequency button. Basically, to input frequencies and do etc., it is the same as the short range. So everybody go ahead and set your long range as channel 1 to 50. And broadcast over that for me.
This is Raps video check.
Using control caps lock, yes.
Not clear. Comms check, channel 50.
There you go. And the long range can also, you can switch channels using the numpad, except long range you have to hit control and then the numbers. So if I hit control 2 on my numpad, it'll switch my long range to channel 2. We do that and set channel 2 to frequency 80.
This is Raps video check.
Clear, 80. Comms check, channel 80.
With additional channels, I'm not going to go through that again, but it's basically the same as the short range. The difference between a long range and a short range basically is the long range can be received from further out. Now, if you're going to use a radio that isn't one of the BAF radios that are in the SL backpacks and the JTAC backpacks, the squad leader, you want to use the RT-1523G. It is the longest range long-range radio, and it is the one that is compatible with all of the NATO gear.
What was that? RT, the RT what?
RT-1523G.
For squad lead, okay.
One neat thing about long ranges is, say I've got a squad that's out of short range distance, none of them have a long range. Well, if I want to give them an order to fall back, my location at whatever, but they're out of short range distance, I can just set my long range to that radio, to say they're on 60. We're going to use that. I'll set my long range to 60, and I can give them an order using the long range, and they will hear it on their short ranges. It will also play a different tone. As you can see, the short range gives a crackle, the long range gives a beep. It's one neat way to use the long range. Any questions on radios?
Nope.
Alrighty. We're gonna move on to... what else did I put in that list? Give me one moment. Over basic stances in Arma. Everybody bring their guns up.
Oops.
If you look at me, I am standing. I am crouched. I am prone. Obviously, we've got the leaning. There are more stances than just that. If I hit Control W, I will go to a tall stand. If I hit Control S, I'll go back to a normal stand. If I hit Control S again, I'll go to a low stand. Again, high crouch, crouch, low crouch, prone, prone, low prone. And if I hit Control A or D, I can do a lean. That side. A far lean. And if I'm crouched or standing and I hit Control A or D, I can then do an extra lean with E or Q. Please use these. Stances can fucking save your life. Like, watch. Hey, I'm hiding behind this. Where you are, Raps? Right there.
Again?
Raps, how much of me is visible?
I can only see like the top section of your helmet and just some of your rifle.
You can see the entirety of your body and shoot you from right here.
Hey, is this... Can you guys hear me at least?
Yeah, we can hear you now, kid.
Yep.
Okay.
Just getting to stances right now. The key with those stances is to reveal the least amount of you as possible. The more of you that's revealed, the more there is for the enemy to shoot, and the higher likelihood there is for you to get shot and die. And some of them, like this one, stance is a good stance for marksmen who want to rest their weapon pretty well. They don't want to be in grass that's covering up all of their sight.
That's a small part.
And this kind of prone is good for shooting below cars and stuff. Next, if you go up to, say, this box, I think this box works. Yeah, it does. A box will appear on your character appearance in the top right. What that means is you are resting your weapon against the box. This will give you increased accuracy and stability. You can do this while next to the box like this as well. You don't have to just have your weapon on top of it. So prone, you'll see a little bipod looking thing pops up. You can press C and a bipod will pop up. Rest your weapon on the ground if you don't have a bipod, and if you do have a bipod, the bipod will deploy. Obviously, if you have a bipod, your stability will be increased more than if you don't have a bipod. Any questions?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Alrighty, now we're going to go to equipment usage. So if everybody would hit Control G until they've selected white smoke grenades. Now press Shift G. A little grenade will pop up in front, the smoke grenade will pop up in front of you, and a little throwing arc will also appear. This is Ace Advanced Throwing. This allows you to throw the grenade and aim it instead of just, winging it out there and hoping it hits something. This is very useful if you want to, like, throw the grenade inside of a window or, toss it over a wall, because if you scroll up, the grenade will tilt and go sideways, and the arc will change. It'll go to a more steep arc. This is basically just tossing the grenade, and the higher you aim it, the higher it'll go, but it still won't go further out horizontal. This is good, so say I want to toss the grenade over this box, not, wing it all the way across the entire earth. I can just, bloop, throw it over, and don't have to have it all the way out here when I want the grenade to be right here.
You don't have TFR?
Let me check.
I don't think he does.
Don't think so.
Alright. So, any questions on advanced grenade throwing? Oh, and another thing, if you hit the middle mouse button, it'll cook the grenade. And yes, it will explode in your hand. if you're using an M67, and the smoke grenades will pop in your hand. Questions on that?
So we could basically cook off a smoking grenade.
You cook it off in your hand and run around with it smoking, yes, but please do not do that. You look like a fucking retard. The next thing we're going to go to is basic shooting. So everybody aim towards the wall to the west. Now aim down sights. Now with this sight, you can see there are little tiny numbers below it. If you hit Control right click, zoom in even farther, and you can actually see what the numbers are. See that the numbers, there's a 4, a 6, an 8, and a 10. This means that if you put the hash mark beside the 4 over an enemy that's at 400 meters, and pull the trigger, it will hit them. It's an auto, it's not really an auto range scope, it's just little measurements made out for you to automatically be able to sight your target and fire at them at different ranges. The hash mark in between 4 and 6 obviously means 5, one between 6 and 8 is 7, one between 8 and 10, 9. And the one before 4 is 3, the middle one is 200. The red dot in the middle. Any questions?
Negative.
Alright, and one quick tip. With 5.56 that we use, anything within 300, at 300 meters or within, basically just want to aim with the red dot in the middle of your scope. The bullet does not drop much between 2 and 300 meters. It starts to drop a little after 300 usually. And with this specific sight, if you hit Control right click again, it will switch to the iron sights on top of the scope. You do it again, it will switch to the normal scope. Alrighty, and for the next one I'm going to have to make it nighttime for you to actually see. Hold on to the people. On to the people that don't have the loadout.
Oh god, my computer is glitching again. Now I basically got motion blur for the rest of this.
Alrighty, so you're gone. Shade, you can go ahead and take a look at all that stuff while I'm switching. It is now nighttime. If we get away from the light over here and go into the dark, everybody put on their NVGs using N. Alright, so NVGs, if you didn't know, you can actually adjust the brightness on them using Alt, page up, and page down. Page up will increase the brightness, page down will decrease the brightness. It goes between a spectrum of -5 and 5. You can use this for whatever means you feel like. I usually always keep my brightness at 5. Next. These neat little things called IR lasers. Everybody see the lasers we're putting out now? Yep. If we hit Control L, it's a regular laser. It's neat, isn't it? Also, there's another thing. everybody head over the ars. Actually, I'll just give it to you. Never mind. About this.
Ooh, control tilde.
Please do not fire your weapon.
Yeah,
You're
control
supposed to
tilde.
be heavy right now. I've given you a lot of stuff for showing. No, this is not a practical rifleman loadout.
Yeah.
This is far beyond practical. What I'm giving you all right now is IR strobes that are in your backpack. Use these. You hit Control Windows key to bring up a self interaction to equipment, and it'll say attach item. You go to that, and it'll say IR strobe. If you put that on, anybody with night vision will see a little blinking light on your shoulder. If everybody looks at wraps, you can see a little blinking light on them. Right now it's kind of faint because we're really close to them, but if we run this way, stay right there, wraps. Hey, wraps, turn to look at us. You see, you can actually see that IR strobe decently well from here. Back to wraps. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Alright, everybody hit whatever your change fire mode button is until you get to your grenade launcher. To reload the Hunt IR round. The Hunt IR round is a grenade launcher round that was used before we had UAVs. This is a little grenade launcher, grenade round. Second. Okay, this is a little grenade launcher round that when it hits a certain height in the air, it will deploy a parachute and has a camera on the end of it. If everybody watches this.
Shoot.
Everybody see the little parachute that just deployed in the air?
There it is.
There it is.
Yep.
Alright,
Yes.
so to use the Hunt IR effectively, you have to have something called a Hunt IR monitor, something you all have. To activate this, you go to equipment, you go to activate Hunt IR monitor. It will automatically search for the grenade. It will connect to it. I don't think more than one person can be connected to it at a time.
Unless you shoot your own. Yeah.
Parachute
Out,
100 meters back.
Use this device. It does not have zoom, I think.
It does. It's A and D.
Alright, there we go. It has zoom using A and D. D zooms in, A zooms out. And it has to control where the camera is looking, you use the arrow keys. Down points north, right points east, left points west, and up points south. I'm gonna exit my Hunt IR monitor for anybody that would take a look. A pretty useful device to use if you don't have a UAV. However, it can be spotted by enemies. It can be shot down. Everybody take a look at the Hunt IR round off to the southwest for me real quick. It just took a hit and it's falling faster. And faster. Faster. I think I missed it that time. Get to the point where it's falling pretty quick. Pretty sure the Hunt IR monitor is disabled. And once it hits the ground, it will disappear. It cannot be used. And if it hits the ground near an AI, they will get alerted. And will shoot at it if they see it. Be careful where you shoot these things, and they are affected by the wind. Careful. For the sake of ease, I'm going to switch us back to daytime, so go ahead and take off your night vision for the sake of your health. Alright. So, any questions on all the stuff I went over during the night?
No.
Alrighty. Now we're going to get to using AT launchers. If everybody looks at me right now, don't move, Moxie. What's wrong with this picture?
Backblast.
Well, he's helping you sight it, isn't he?
Definitely. So there's two things wrong here. There's backblast, and the missile launcher isn't even armed. On a M136 in Arma, you have to hit R, which will do this, pop up the sights. Now the missile's armed. We got the problem of backblast. But does anybody know what backblast actually is?
It's a force of crusher.
It's a big-ass subwoofer.
It's
a
the
lot of-
rocket engine igniting and firing at the back of the tube before it it's the booster engine essentially, and then the active rocket fires.
It's a shockwave.
Shockwave.
A lot of pressure and a lot of gases exiting the back of this tube as the rocket goes forward. Because, you know, laws of physics, for every action there must be an equal and an opposite reaction. So a missile going forward means there's supposed to be something going backwards. In this case, it is pressure and gas.
Thank you for giving
What
Dr.
this-
Six the review.
What this backblast will do, if somebody's behind me, the gases will hit them and probably knock them out, possibly kill them, and definitely fuck them up. Oh, Moxie, let's come over here. A little, and it's in a 45-degree cone behind me. Stand a little farther back. I don't want to actually kill you.
It's a pretty big
Fine.
area.
Watch this. Moxie done got fucked up. If everybody comes and looks at him, he's pretty fucked up.
Oh shit, his leg's messed up, yeah.
ACO him real quick.
Oh, okay, yep. It's a good night, so you don't need to waste medical supplies.
What were you doing back there, Mox?
Don't know.
You know, just dying, you know.
Always.
That's the sign of a bad squad leader.
Oh, you're hurt too there, Grizz.
Yes. Another thing that brings me to. So if there is something behind you when you fire this thing, like another human being, or a wall, or you're inside of a building, the gases will ricochet and will hit you. So, let me just, I wonder, can I actually pick this up and... I can. Alright, so, come over here. What's wrong with this picture?
You're inside.
You're inside and there's a window in the way.
You're containing the shockwave.
I am literally in a small room with a wall behind me where it's going to ricochet off and hit me. Best way to fire one of these is to not be inside of the building and to not be up against a wall. You want to fire them outside with a clear area behind you. You can fire them inside of buildings provided those buildings are not tiny, like this one. Example, if we look over at the little shacks over there, if I were to fire one from one... If I were to say one end is open, and I were to fire out that end, like, come here, I'll just show you, for the sake of, you know, showing. Say this end is open. It's an empty room with no walls. If I were to be right about here and fire it, it would not ricochet off the back wall and kill me. Might injure me, but it won't kill me and knock me out. The effect of Black Blast. Any questions on that?
And I
Now
suppose
we'll move to medical. Oh, yes?
I suppose you want to be careful if you're shooting straight up in the air.
Yes. Because that will ricochet, obviously, off the ground.
If you're sacrificing yourself for the squad, you better make the hit, right?
Or at least make sure the medic is still alive to get you.
Alright.
Moving on to medical. If you all take a moment to examine your backpack, I've placed some things in there. The hell is fucking what's his face going? Once you come back, I'll give you the loadout. Done.
See. Come back, he'll give you the loadout, don't worry.
Do. Naked.
More morphine.
These are not accurate representations either of the amount of bandages you carry, but in our ops, the main medical tools you want to use are elastic bandages, epinephrine, morphine, tourniquets. I'll just go over the basic usage. So the reason we use the elastic bandage is because in ACE, the way it operates with medical, with the way we run it, we don't have to worry about reopenings, etc., stuff like that. So we just need a bandage that's able to bandage as many wounds as possible, and that happens to be the elastic bandage. Epinephrine, Excel will can elaborate a lot more on that. I don't really need to explain the entirety of the human body to know how a bandage works. Anyway, next thing, epinephrine. Epinephrine is adrenaline. It will increase your heart rate, and it can sometimes wake people up if they're unconscious.
Ooh.
You've got morphine. Morphine slows your heart rate down and dulls pain. So it dulls pain at the cost of slowing your heart rate. So if your heart rate's already slow, you probably don't want to take morphine. You probably just want to walk it off. Now, tourniquets. Tourniquets are basically fucking bungee cords almost. Tighten them real fucking tight around a limb, and it stops blood flow to that limb. So say my fucking right arm has got about 36 bullet holes in it, and it's leaking blood. Me, I don't want to leak blood anymore. So I'll just put a tourniquet on it, and it'll slow down the blood loss.
Until you get bandages on it.
Yes. So the purpose for tourniquets is if say my entire body has injuries, put tourniquets on my limbs, that is my left arm, left leg, and right leg. Not tourniquet your head, your chest. Try. Then you will start with bandaging your head, bandage your chest, and then start bandaging your limbs, taking off the tourniquets as you go. I'm gonna just go ahead and give you guys the secret to Ace Medical. If everybody presses escape for me real quick, presses Ace Options, and goes to where it says All Categories. Click that, bring up the drop-down menu, go to Medical, and where it says Use Medical menu, change that to Enabled, and hit Close. What this does is it enables you to use a thing called the medical menu, which is activated using H. So, everybody gather around Raps, because we're going to use him as our test dummy today.
Sounds good.
Up to him and press H. It'll bring up a menu with a human body in the middle, bunch of stuff on the left, bunch of stuff on the right, bunch of stuff below you, and it'll say his name at the top left, Raps. if you click on any portion of the body, so say I click on the head, it'll select the head, it'll tell me any injuries on it, and anything I do, well, selecting the head, like if I select bandages and select elastic bandage, it'll bandage the head. I'm going to go over each portion of the thing. So in the middle, obviously the dummy, if his right leg is hurt, it'll show up as red. If it's really hurt, it'll show up as darker red, and it's a spectrum of reds. On the right side, it says overview. It'll tell you what body part you're looking at, injuries, as well as anything done to it, like if there's a tourniquet on it. For that, where it says quick view, it'll tell you has been done with diagnostics, etc. Activity log to the left will tell you what people have done at what time, such as if somebody bandaged him, if somebody gave him blood, morphined him, epinephrine him, etc. So above that we have examine and treatment, the main part of the person. The first part is the triage card. Triage card, if I can find it, it's only accessible, I'm like 90% sure, and the person is down. Basically, it tells when the person's gotten epinephrine, etc., same stuff as usual. It's basically the activity log, but triage card. To the right of that, where it has a little person in a magnifying glass, it's the examine patient options. You can check their pulse, blood pressure, response. An ACE normally is about 80 or so. If you are not a medic, you will just see you find a normal heart rate, or you find a weak heart rate, or a very weak heart rate, or no heart rate. It's basic rifleman. So if I was a medic, I'd see an actual number. I'd get like 86 beats per minute, 90 beats per minute, 120, whatever. If I hit check blood pressure, as a rifleman, I'll get normal blood pressure, etc. If I was a medic, I would get a number like 120 over 80. That's the normal. Quick response, no matter who I am, I will get whether responsive or not. Next set of stuff is bandages and fractures. We don't have to worry about fractures, we just worry about bandages. And if I select the right arm, I have the options of elastic bandage and applied tourniquet. Say he's got bandages on his right arm, I'll select the right arm and I'll elastic bandage it. If I want to apply a tourniquet, I'll do it here too. As you can see, if you select the torso or the face, cannot do a tourniquet. Also cannot access the next menu, medication. If you are selecting the torso or the head, you have to select a limb. Medication is morphine, epinephrine, adenosine, atropine. You guys don't need to worry about adenosine and atropine for right now. Learn that in medic training. Next menu is airway management. Don't worry about that. The next menu, which is advanced treatments. Raps, I'm sorry, but I have to knock you out for this.
You got it.
Alright, so Raps is knocked out. For advanced treatments, we have to select the torso, and the only option for us that comes up is CPR. As riflemen, this is the only advanced treatment we can do. What CPR does is it extends the person's... Oh, and he's back up. You can only access that when he's knocked out, by the way. But what CPR does, basically, is it prolongs his bleed-out timer. And it keeps air going through his lungs, keeps him alive. Next one is the drag carry option. This is the options for dragging him and carrying him places. Under no... Alright. I give you the circumstances for when you should drag and when you should carry. If you have to transport the person farther than 50 meters, carry them. Anything below that, you drag them. Why should we do this? I'll show you why. Perhaps I'm going to knock you out again. He's not waking up from that. This is the animation for dragging. Real quick, I'm automatically moving with him. Can release him like that. Here's the carry animation. I'll let you know when I'm able to move.
You could be shot.
And this entire time, I can be shot, and so can Raps. However, one great thing about it, it can move pretty damn quick. Yeah, I forgot the server has a really fast bleed out timer. He'll be fine. He'll come back over here from over there. As you can see, the carry... I don't need a medic in that shit. He's dead. You see, the carry animation is really fucking long. That's why we don't do it unless we're carrying this person for a pretty far distance.
And you probably want to stabilize them first as best you can, huh?
You wanna stabilize them best you can,
Circumstance willing.
and then carry them. Because guess what happens when you carry or drag somebody? They bleed more.
That.
That actually doesn't happen when you carry or drag them. They just bleed more. Questions on medical stuff?
I've got one. Can you overdo it with morphine and epi?
Yes, you can overdose people.
Does it give you an indication in there somewhere if you've given them too much, or you just got to pretty much count how many?
This is how you'll know. So, I'm gonna give Raps a bit of morphine. As you can see, he's got a normal heart rate. I'll inject the morphine, and we'll see his heart rate afterwards. Put a little bit to take effect.
I'll let you know when the effects kick in.
Check his pulse. A normal heart rate. Alright, let's give him another one.
God.
Put a little bit to take effect.
More morphine.
Let's check his pulse now. Find a weak heart rate. As you can see, the morphine is slowing down his heart. We do it again.
Please. I already hear my heartbeat. I don't need this.
Yeah, what do you got, Raps? You got some visual cues, or you got some sound?
It's a sound cue. You hear your heartbeat like it's bump, bump.
Oh, it's actually slowing. You hear it slowing down? Getting louder?
Yeah, you hear it.
If we check his
This is loud
pulse again, a weak heart rate.
More morphine.
Another one.
He's gonna knock me out.
I am going to go until you get knocked out.
Yeah, but now you can run through a brick wall, though, right?
Slow now.
We check his pulse again.
Nope.
Oh, he's knocked out, and we got no heart rate. Just overdosed on morphine.
CPR.
Give him some epinephrine to start his heart back up.
2 of them.
Sometimes this won't work, sometimes it will. If you overdose him on morphine, he's basically fucking dead, usually. Unless you have a medic that has adenosine or atropine. Alright, well, Raps is pretty fucking dead.
Non-responsive.
Unresponsive, he's got no heart rate, he's got no fucking... well, he's got blood pressure.
Misery.
He definitely isn't breathing. So, Raps, I'm gonna see if I can ace heal you before you die.
So morphine slowed it down. I take it epi will speed it up until it bursts.
Yes, an epi will do the opposite, but it'll still end in the same thing.
Hey!
Passed out on the ground. If you give him a shit ton of epinephrine or a shit ton of morphine, if with epinephrine his heart will explode. With morphine, it will cease to fucking work at all.
Okay.
There's no coming back from it. Questions on any of that stuff? So we're going to move on to is just normal ace interaction. Everybody come over here, please. Oh, another thing we've got with ace interaction, with self-interaction, if we go to equipment, we see the options of drop backpack, activate hunt IR monitor, check weapon temperature, dig small trench, dig big trench, earplugs in, and backpack on chest. Backpack on chest and drop backpack do obviously what they say they do. Activate hunt IR monitor, you already know. Check weapon temperature, will tell you how hot your barrel is. And earplugs in, we'll put earplugs in so you don't get deaf from gunshots. Now, dig small trench and big trench. This is only available if you have an entrenching tool. This is what a small trench is. We'll go into an animation of digging. Trench will slowly rise up from the depths of hell.
Would you like me to build a bug trench.
Now, the great thing about this small trench here, bullets cannot go through it. Nightshade, please stand at the. Please go inside the trench and go prone, please. Watch this, everybody. Stop moving, Nightshade. Okay, ammo that time.
Shoot back! Shoot back!
Let's check the other side. Oh, he's still alive. Here, look at that. These are bulletproof, shrapnel proof, and I'm going to build a big trench for everybody, and I'm going to demonstrate basically explosive proof.
I don't like the sound of that.
Don't worry, we got morphine.
And yes, this is counted as a object.
This is an
Seeing
object.
as you can put your bipod on it.
The big trench obviously
Which
takes a
is-
little longer than a small trench to build. And AI cannot walk over a trench. Pathing does not, they recognize it as basically a wall. If you want to
which
remove them,
the
you'll use Windows key. It'll pop up with a little circle and say interactions, remove trench if you would like to remove it. So, everybody get inside the trench, please.
I get my 2 layers of action,
I
Yeah,
see
I
a
was gonna
charge.
say.
just like girls.
Yeah,
To demonstrate how explosive proof it is. 3, 2, 1, fire in the hole, fire in the hole, fire in the hole. Would you look at that? We're all still alive. 'Cause trench.
Good thing I had my earplugs in.
I didn't.
You're probably
Any
going deaf by
questions
now.
about trenches?
I'm not.
So, if
Next.
I remember correctly, you can. Oh.
Go ahead.
If I'm correct, you can stop like building the trench like halfway through, right? So you don't have to get this high.
What was that?
He was basically asking if you can stop the animation of digging a trench.
Yes, by pressing escape.
Oh,
So
okay.
leave the trench like halfway built.
But at least you can run away, right? Or displace. You don't run away, you displace.
If everybody looks down at the ground,
Someone's
we'll see
bleeding.
another option pop up. Our ace interaction, and that is tag. Let's do little X. Tag, obviously you have green you can choose from because that's the only spray can you have in your backpack. You can use this to mark buildings. An X like, oh, it's clear, or oh, it's got an enemy in it. I'm going to go through the rest of the stuff. So equipment, obviously, you would access your equipment. Team management, this allows you to leave groups or join, assign yourself to a green team in the group. Everybody looks at me with their shack tack or etc. I'll have a green little marker on me now. Medical is accessing each individual arm using ace action like that. Medical menu will bring up your medical menu. Animations does animations. Explosives allows you to mess with explosives, and gestures allows you to do gestures. So we're going to go over his explosive placing. So if everybody comes over here, we conveniently already built a little safety bunker. Ways. If everybody does your self interaction, they go to explosives, they hit place, and they release it while looking at the demolition block. The little demolition block will pop up in your hands. Rotate it using the scroll wheel, place it with the left click, and cancel with the right click. But once you place it, it's not armed yet. Can still explode if you shoot it, but it's not armed. If I want to arm it, I'll ace interact using Windows key only, not control Windows key. It'll bring me the options of pick up and select trigger. You can select trigger and select the M57 firing device. Boom. These charges are now live.
I see a charge.
If you set multiple charges, will come up on different explosive codes. You can activate one explosive rather than another one. Nightshade, can you do the explosive countdown for us? And when we do our explosive countdown, we do 3, 2, 1, and then we say fire in the hole 3 times just to let it.
Okay.
Boom, stuff exploded.
Oh, bloodlust.
Somebody just splatter.
Yep. Well, I don't think anyone. I heard that sound, but it was the body over there.
Oh, the body.
Oh, you.
I am bleeding though. I think someone's bleeding.
Check yourselves.
You bleeding, Grizz?
We're all bleeding.
I'm not bleeding.
now.
Oh, fine.
No,
It's
well-
just the body.
Yeah, there's bloody footprints here.
Hey, footprints. They're like drag marks or whatever.
Hey, don't worry about
Whatever. We're not hurt.
it. So if I were to place down a demolition block and arm it, I also have a thing called the defusal kit.
I see a charge.
You can go up to this and defuse it. If I'm not an explosive specialist, it will take longer. If I am an explosive specialist, it will obviously take less time. You can pick it back up.
Is there a chance of failure if you're not an explosive specialist?
IEDs, no matter who you are, they will always explode when you try to disarm them. Always.
Charge.
Questions?
No.
I had a question on backpacks.
Yes, what's your question?
Dropping them. That's pretty much to use for like cover or something, or to pick up later.
Pick up later. You cannot use the backpack as cover, sadly.
You can't. All right. But if I leave a backpack, can somebody else pick it up?
Yes.
Cool.
The other thing you guys have is the UAV terminal in your scroll menu. It does basically pulls up a map, and you can select autonomous vehicles. And one person connects to a UAV, nobody else can connect to it. Just gonna let you guys know that. Make sure you always disconnect from the vehicle once you are done. UAV terminal. You are the only UAV operator. From this, you can control left click and it'll give the UAVs waypoints, and you right click on the waypoint and it will give them certain behaviors you can select. You click autonomous and check that off. They will not do waypoints. If you check allow lights, they will turn on their lights or not turn on their lights. You control driver, obviously you control the driver. Control gunner, you control the gunner. And escape will bring you out of it. Any questions?
No, sir.
Alright, so I'm going to prepare a CQB thing, and I'm also going to call my girlfriend, so give me like 4 minutes.
Also, if you do Windows keys and look at a person, you can pass them a magazine. Like
Yes,
this.
you also have those. I'll be right.
Or you could tap
I will
your
still
shoulder.
be here, and if you have a burning question, you can ask me it, but other than that, I will be setting up your CQB training.
Yes, you're tapping that shoulder right now.
Or not. Oh, God, my... Oh. Hold on.
You have stun grenade. Hi. Eddie. What's up there? Okay, dude. Relax. Put him moving around, Nightshade. Nightshade. Put him back, dude. This was going to mention to you earlier, Nightshade, was that, earlier you were wearing Atlan helmet with a, balaclava. I was like, yeah, you don't want to be doing that, bud. The idea is like the big thing there, really. People say that Atlan helmet's like the best in the game or whatever, but I've actually looked at the stats and it's just the same damn thing. Oh, sweet earplugs. Vest. I have glasses. No wonder everything looks a little darker.
Yeah, mine say tactical glasses clear, but it does put a bit of an outline.
Let's be fair here, though. When you actually wear eye pro, it actually does look a little bit different. Why would you wear eye pro, though? Oh. Steel house.
Sneaky bastard.
Perhaps.
Alright, you sons of bitches. We're gonna go over basic PID before we do our CQB. Guy on the left, person number 3. I mean number 1. That guy's person number 1. Guy in the middle, person number 2. Guy on the right, person number 3. What's the difference between 1 and 2?
The left's got more of a green, lighter green, what is it, camouflage, and also has an AK-47.
What else? Alright, we're gonna start at the boots. Yes, I do get that detail in my PID. Move out of the way, Nightshade. As you can see, difference between the boots. The Russian guy, obviously he's Russian, has very slim boots that are very, very fucking... They don't look comfortable, do they?
I know.
They look very comfortable. On the right, looks like he's wearing fucking hiking boots. He's sleek, all comfortable. You would expect from a more well-maintained, high-tech army States has, while Russia still relies on go fuck some dudes up with guns. The next thing, pants. Russian dude's pants are stuck into his shoes. This guy, nah, he just lets them roll out. Second thing, Russian dude's pants, they're literally just cargo pants, nothing special about them. Guy on the right, his pants look like they have built-in knee pads. There's a lot of fucking stitches, a lot of fucking material that looks like it'd be good for somebody to be moving around, be active with. Good thing. Vest. Russian body armor typically has full body coverage as well as sometimes neck coverage. However, they do not have the same as American body armor, which is the Molly web gear you can see on the American guy. This guy literally, as you can see, kind of strapped another chest rig on top of his body armor. American guy has Molly webbing on his ballistic vest, where he can attach pouches, magazine pouches, radio pouches, all kinds of motherfucking pouches. Also has a utility belt. A lot of the Russians don't like utility belts for some reason. They literally just have a fucking cloth that holds the canteen. Next thing. Russian dude's helmet. Eastern style helmets typically flare out at the ears and are more rounded out and less form-fitting than Western helmets. And the Western helmet, real sleek, fits to the guy's head pretty well. Lots of fucking securing chin strap, comfort clips, all that shit. Last thing, this guy's got an AK. Made AKs. Russia. This guy's got an M4. He made M4s. America. Obviously, this guy's American. This guy's Russian. Easily PID off of the uniform, vest, all of it. Over here, what's the difference between him and the other two?
No armor.
It's also got a bandana, like some mod going on.
This guy does not actually have a uniform. He's literally just wearing civilian clothes and then you put a chest rig on it. As well as a face covering. You can tell this guy obviously is not a regular infantryman. He's wearing fucking slippers. Wait, this guy isn't wearing slippers. He's wearing actual boot. This time I did this, the guy was wearing slippers. Anyway, so obviously he looks like an irregular fighter, like a guerrilla fighter. This guy in particular is wearing all black, which, who wears all black?
Darth Vader.
ISIS.
ISIS is actually the only faction in our sets that wears all, like, literally all fucking black like this.
Gross.
They actually have an... ISIS technically has a regular army that actually has desert camo, but And they still look fucking retarded, let's be real. And on his back, like 90% of gorillas in the world, he's using one of the old style AKs. Any questions on PID? Questions on PID? Let's move on to CQB. Follow me. Will be the last thing we do today, and then you guys all get basic infantry training marked off.
Hey. I probably will get that T2.
Yeah, that does make you. Doesn't
Yep.
it? Maybe T2 as well, Raps, since you've done every training except basic training.
No one has done basic in like a long ass time.
Obviously, right here, we have a barracks. Simple. We're going to ignore the side entrance, the back entrances for now. Let me see what you guys call a single, what you guys would think would be a single stack on the right side of the doorway.
Crouching because of the window.
You guys are fucking smart. You crouched because of the window. And, oh my god, Seymour's covering the side, and fucking Maki's covering the back. Oh my fucking god, we have progress. Right here, obviously, he's the point man. He's looking at that fucking door. He's like, let's fucking do this. Let's fucking go in there and kill some fucking motherfucking pieces of shit. Raps here. He's covering his left. Seymour covering the far side in case anybody comes out that direction. Maki's covering the back just in case. Demonstrate a double stack with Nightshade on the right, Seymour on the right, Raps, and Maki on the left. Alright, there you go. You guys have a fucking clue what you're doing. In this scenario, the point man's literally going to be the guy that it makes it easiest for him to enter the room after the door is open. And in Arma, all the doors open the side the handle's on, obviously, and it swings out usually. Either way, the side the handle is on, it's going to be the easiest way to come in from that way. In this instance, Raps is going to be the point man, because he can actually go in. It's going to be Nightshade that goes in, then Maki, then Seymour. If it was a single stack, it'd just go in order of you guys doing it. Everybody come back outside and stack up on a single stack. Left.
Left.
3-point man. Stack to this, I guess.
I got the
The
rear.
reason we're doing this side is for the sake of ease. Me going inside.
I got the rear. I got the corner.
I'm point man. One real quick motto you need to know for CQB. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Oh, you are smooth. If you are smooth, you are fast. That means you want to have your gun up at all times. Double tapping C will do this. Control C, you will start walking. A lot better to be walking through a building than it is to run, because you might accidentally run into the hallway. As point man, I'm going to announce, and as point man, when we go inside the buildings, I'm going to go and announce breaching. I'm going to take this slow. I'm going to walk in. I'm going to see hallway front, stairs right. See, there's nobody at the hallway, so I'm going to come in looking towards the stairs. I'm going to proceed towards the stairs. Second guy is going to go cover the hallway. Third guy is going to come to the stairs. Fourth guy is going to go to the hallway. Then anywhere beyond that, if you have any more guys than that, it's a decision that the squad lead makes which floor you clear, or if you clear both floors at the same time. If you're going to do a single floor clearing, the rest of the guys will go to the floor you're clearing. So for this instance, we're going to do a single floor clear of the bottom floor. And so we're just going to imagine there are two guys sitting where me and Nightshade are covering the stairs. At that point, what's going to happen? Watch out, Makis. Because obviously know what you're doing. Raps is going to be on the left side watching the right because he can see more of the right than I can. And I can see more of the left than he can. What we're going to do is we're going to slowly edge, till we can see most everything without exposing ourselves. And what's going to happen is I'm going to say, I'm going to recognize that there's the hallway is shorter on the left. I'm going to say short hallway left. Raps is going to be like, oh, there's a fucking long ass hallway on the right, isn't there, Raps?
Long hallway right, long left.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to fucking peek for a second to see if there's anybody at the end of the hallway. I'm going to peek back in. Raps is going to do the same thing to see if there's anything on the right. If there's anybody there, we're going to shoot them, obviously, and if they aren't, we're going to say it's clear, and then, yeah. What's going to happen is we are then going to fucking swap. I'll cover the right, he'll cover the left. I can sit like this. Now, basically got these fucking hallways covered. If anybody comes out of these doors, we will shoot them. In this instance, we're going to assume we're going to be clearing the left hallway first, and assume there's a guy standing right here watching the other side, so that you guys can watch me. Raps, I'm going to take your position real quick. Whoever's right here is going to go, alright, advancing to the door. He's going to advance to the door with a guy behind him. Always clear rooms, partner, or more. I'm going to go, okay, opening door, pieing door, and what pieing the door means is this. Go around the door, covering as many sectors as possible, what's in the room. Now all I got to worry about is the far left corner and what's behind the door. Because there's a door there, I don't have to worry about that corner until I get farther in the room, so I can go in the corner, go in the room, looking at that left corner. Then I can turn around behind the door. And it's clear, I yell out clear, friendly's coming out of the room. And I proceed on to the next door. The same thing. In the entire time, there's a guy sitting right there in that corner, watching the other end of the hallway. Once we clear this side of the building, me and Raps will return to the same position and cover the left side of the hallway just in case somebody climbs through the window or some shit. And the guy on the right will do the same thing and clear down the right side. And because if I was to demonstrate the right side again, it'd be literally a copy of the left side, just about 6 times more. We're going to continue on to say, alright, this floor is clear. We're going to move on. So basically what's going to happen is all the guys in the hallway are going to fall back to this main room. You guys are going to cover the hallway again, and for the sake of this, we're going to assume the guy's there. And this entire time, I don't know if I mentioned this, there's going to be a guy covering the door, just in case.
I was there. I had it.
Yeah, alright. So, these guys are basically the point men. Seymour, let me take your spot. Demonstration. These guys have been sitting here the entire time, watching the stairs. If there's 2 guys here, the further front guy will cover the opening of the stairs, the other guy will cover the balcony right there, in case anybody peeks their head over. So, from my position, I can see this wall. I can see the end of it, and I can see, oh, if there's a guy there, I can see him. If he is there, I'll shoot him. So, I'll come up, and I'll see, alright, that section of the room is clear. I can focus on the balcony. On the balcony, I'll shoot him, and I'll move on up. Right here. Doctor, go ahead and head on down to the first floor. We'll come to this point. I'm at this side. We'll all see that there is short hall, and if from the first floor we can tell, okay, there's a short hallway left and a long hallway right again. And it basically just repeats what you did on the bottom floor. Any questions so far? Alright, and then there's the thing about breaching with equipment. Have that. We have frag grenades, and we obviously have stun grenades. There are 3 types of breaching. There's breach and clear, flash and clear, and frag and clear. Breach and clear is literally what we did earlier. We just opened the door, went in, and we shot shit. Flash and clear is opening the door, throwing a flashbang in, waiting for it to explode, and then going in and shooting the stunned AI. Frag and clear is opening up door, throwing a frag grenade in, waiting for the frag grenade to explode and kill everybody in it, or as many as it can, and then going in and cleaning up whoever's left. Obviously, if there is a hostage in the room, when you throw in that frag, the hostage is going to die and going to fail your mission. In hostage scenarios, or if there are civilians, you want to use the non-lethal options of breach and clear or flash and clear. However, if you know it is only hostiles in the room, you may use frag and clear if you would like to do so. Questions? Alright, so let's exit the building. Remember, smooth is fast. I'm going to spawn us in a building for us to hide in, because I'm going to spawn in actual live AI in the building. Give me 1 moment. Everybody into the house. Everybody get in there. We're going to start for the time being. For the sake of this exercise, all of you get on frequency 60. It's going to be your short range. I close the door, one of you.
Here, Daniel. Let's go. God damn it, Rocky.
Com check 60.
Good.
Check.
The great thing about radios in Arma is that they don't fail.
Contact. Man.
That was not expected. Okay. For the sake of making your lives easier, I'm not going to make it to where there are any AI immediately at the windows able to shoot you, but pretend that you're still going to hide from the windows just in...
Contact. Man. Contact. Man. Contact.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about.
That was not supposed to happen.
We've got an enemy. AT soldier. 75 meters right.
Well,
You okay?
somebody was on it. Was that you, Daniel?
Work on your reflexes.
Shoot it. Did you shoot him?
Somebody killed him.
What?
All of you okay?
Yeah, we're all good.
Yep.
Alright, so, I know I'm going to do this a little further away. Bring it over here.
Enemy spotted.
You keep standing out here like this, you're going to get fucking shot, so it's going to happen, Rat. Like that.
I'm
Yes, you
inside.
probably will. I'm doing basic infantry training right now, Rat. Hope you know that.
Oh, rat king.
Now? Yes, it is, but the server had to do an update and my shit got pushed back a little bit. I'll be finishing up soon.
Doctor, get
Everybody
inside.
stay inside. Stay inside. Close the door.
He's got a dragon inside.
King, if you step out here again and get shot, I'm not reviving you.
Don't put him there.
Just use him as a meat shield. Yeah,
All of you,
that's why
close the
we
door
can
now.
delete towards enemies.
This is your last
The
warning.
door's closed.
Door's closed. Daniel's half out though.
Yeah.
How are
What's
they
that?
shoot-
What's that?
Oh,
What do you mean the Rat King? Rat King's cool. Okay, don't do that. Come on, Nightshade. Nice, the Rat King.
I just came in here to check what's happening with Ambiguous because he went
Yeah.
away.
He's not in the server.
I thought Ambi was
I
playing.
guess
Wargame.
Grizzly is running it instead.
Because
MB
he's
was
doing
playing
stuff a
Wargame.
bit more.
Okay.
Just that I've been wanting to check out because Ambiguous has been missing his other trainings for a while. I've been turning up to them.
Which one of you
he did
fucking
run
poked
up
your head out?
yesterday, right?
Why was I poking our heads out?
Hey, if
Are you
you're
still
at the
visible?
window, you need to not be at the window looking out.
Doctor, back off, Doctor. He's cheating.
I'm not looking out.
I'm gonna fucking put up a wall.
This guys.
Okay,
See ya.
good luck.
By the way, Hill Host is trying to join, but I don't know what he's going to be actually be doing.
God. It's creepy. Ouch.
Alright, so I've got a wall in between you and the objective. Just real quick.
Alright, you are now clear to proceed.
Perhaps coming out.
The first door is open.
Alright, gentlemen, safety's off.
It is unknown if there are civilians inside the building, just letting you know.
What's that? How far do we got, Nightshade, before we get to the building?
Give me 1 second, I will move the building.
I was gonna say, like, gonna cover a lot of ground.
Well-
Well, there's enemies right there.
Yeah, there's the squad.
Don't shoot over each other. Shoot over each other.
Oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to do that.
Well, I mean, shooting over each other like that's kind of dangerous. Nightshade was still moving around.
No, I mean shooting the guy before he moved the building. I didn't know he was gonna move.
There, you're clear to move in. There's nobody at the windows immediately able to move. Shoot you so you can just move up to the door and stack up. And remember, if somebody goes down, you
Left,
push
left
on.
side,
Do not
left side,
wait for them to get back up.
left side.
You have enough men to do this now.
Yeah, just a few more.
Alright. Who wants point? Me? I'll take it.
And you want to try to do this as quickly as possible.
Alright.
Remember, slow as move, smooth as
Let's-
fast.
A little bit clear left, or clear to the right, going in left.
Moving.
Ah.
Yeah, just a few more. Sounds we have shots.
Shots. Where did they come from?
Sounds like from upstairs.
There. Nothing to the right. Hallway's clear. Long hallway's clear.
Don't see anything left just yet. Beacon.
Alright.
Nobody. It's open on the left side though.
Alright. We want to take the room on the left?
Yep,
Only one door.
go ahead.
Alright, someone watch the right. Moving in.
Yep.
Clear to the left. Somebody watch this doorway. I'll take the room to the further down.
Okay.
Hey, you want to get out the hallway, Daniel?
Yep. Contact in this room.
Shoot him then.
At least one.
Go
Still
ahead.
friendly.
Contact.
He's got a weapon. I'm going to take the shot.
Yep.
Contact. Man.
Can you hear me?
All right. Clear. This room's clear.
This one's clear as well.
All right. This end's clear.
You guys go ahead.
Somebody want to move down the long hallway?
Pine door.
All right. I'll guard this backside here. Make sure no one comes in the doorway.
One tango down, moving in, going left.
Alright, Daniel, you go to the right. I go to cover.
One contact, AK-47 down.
Oh! Heavy weapon. We got a man down.
Rifleman.
Doctor's down. Where'd that come from?
I'll drop.
Left door open.
He's in that room. I see his leg. All right. Doctor's up.
Swing in. Clear.
Doctor, pull back, I'm falling.
Are you wounded?
Go to this door on the right first.
Are you wounded?
Opening. Mag. Hi. Alright, going.
Clear.
Clear, one tango down. On left. This is Raps, Daniel, still moving down the hallway.
Are you good, Doc?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Opening door. Down. There's one tango down.
All right. Watch that door. Watch that. I was gonna say, watch the door. Go down the hallway. I'll watch the door. Go down with him.
Okay. Are they all clear? Yeah, looks like
Down. First post
it.
clear.
All clear? Okay.
Fourth post clear.
All right. Good job, guys.
Roger.
For the sake of time, proceed on to the right side of the second floor.
We didn't check this room right here. Someone want to get a look? I'll open the door.
Door doesn't open. No.
Oh, it doesn't?
Go
All right.
upstairs, follow this team.
All right.
You up there, get moving. Go to the right.
Don't worry about the left side of the second floor. We're just gonna move on to the right side for the sake of time.
All right. How's it looking, Mark?
Covering ground floor.
Alright.
Daniel, want to stay with me?
Exit.
All right.
Clear.
All right. All these doors are closed. Who's with me? All right. Opening. Oh. Check your target. He didn't look armed.
Hostage.
He didn't look armed. Hostage. All right. Want to check this room? Door open.
I'm gonna check the rooms to the left.
Left is clear. Oh, enemy! I took a chance.
Fuck.
Is he down?
Cheeky terrorist.
All right, he's down now. All right, I'm gonna push up to this. I'm gonna push up to this end door. Someone keeps sticking their head out.
May be the last one standing, but I will kill you all.
Huh. Okay. Well. All
Use
right.
a flashbang.
In clear.
Flash out.
Is he down? He is now.
Jetzt.
Alright, congrats guys, come on out. Actually, stay in that room, I'm in there.
Shut the hostage.
You just plugged him.
That's fine. congratulations, guys. You actually did pretty well. Yeah, that was pretty dang good. You guys flashed when you were supposed to, etc. Yeah, congratulations. You were the first ones to actually flash this room instead of killing the terrorist.
Yeah, I don't know who called it out, but they did a good job.
I did.
It didn't register for me right away. I
I've
didn't grab
recorded
one,
all your
but
names. I will be updating the spreadsheet in a little bit. Other than that, you guys have fun. And one of you message Sniper and tell him he's free to run stuff if he wants.
Alright.
And basic infantry training's over. Congratulations, guys.
thanks,
Good
Grizz.
Good job, guys.
Problem.
Oh, I'm Grizzly.